Yes, so I'm Valerie, 26. I can describe myself as a digital nomad because I'm working remotely for a Finnish IT company. It's basically my town where I was born is Lugansk. It's in the eastern part of Ukraine. But when I was 12, I moved into Kyiv with my family. So we lived here almost, yeah, like the most part of my life. And yeah, I don't know how it happened. So I was living in Europe for many months. So I came back to Kiev on the 14th of Feb.
Sure,
And
so recently, okay.
like I could not believe. I said, it's fine. It's not gonna happen. We just could not imagine anything. We could not believe that something like this is going to happen. And here I am sitting in my corridor on the mattress and in my little shelter next to the door. So we could not imagine. You cannot get prepared for something like this. And
Wow.
2 days ago, on the 24th of Feb, I woke up with the sound of explosion. And I knew exactly it wasn't a firework because it was in the morning. It was 6 a.m. And then I understood that it's the beginning of the
Wow.
end. And 2 days ago, on the 24th of Feb, I woke up with the sound of explosion. And I knew exactly it wasn't a firework because it was in the morning. It was 6 a.m. And then I understood that it's the beginning of the
Wow.
end. And I woke up my mom. She got scared too, and constantly started from 24th. I have the panic attacks when your heart is just beating like a hammer,
Wow.
and you yeah, practice the box breathing. It helps when you breathing for 4 seconds, hold it still for 4 seconds, and so on. Because I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, and I know it won't help at all. You just have to
Sure.
eat normally, drink water. I always have my water with me. And yeah, somehow you get used to this new way of life,
Wow.
even though you wait for it to end, of course, but you have to get adapted and still be normal and feel normal. That's why I use all my skin care products, perfume, just to still feel normal.
For sure.
Yeah. So now,
Wow.
right now, we have a curfew. We cannot leave houses till Monday 8 in the morning.
Wow.
It's also it's kind of scary because you will not see what happens. Of course, you cannot walk in the city even
Yes.
without curfew right now, but we don't know what happens. We just get the videos of the witnesses and
Right.
following the Telegram channels, all the news we get there. We get from Telegram. It's yeah,
Okay.
all of our friends. We have group chats, and we always update ourselves. Like we hear this, we hear that.
Hmm.
I have friends that are my neighbors somewhere, same street. So we always, update each other what we hear
Sure.
and where. Yeah, like the hardest part right now is to travel inside Ukraine because there
Right.
are bombs and attacks everywhere,
Right.
and even to a railway station is also a challenge. So we decided to stay.
And so you're
Yeah.
staying with your mother?
Yes, it
Okay.
was a really hard choice for us. We're still thinking that lots of my friends left Kiev, and
Did some of
yeah,
them also try to flee to rural areas where it was less likely that there'd be attacks?
yeah, yes, they went to other Ukrainian cities that are in the western part of Ukraine, close to Poland, to Hungary, and yes, like lots of them. Some of my friends stayed, but I think like the city is basically empty, almost empty
Sure.
right now, and you feel like everybody left, and you're like staying here. I also evaluated and answered a bunch of questions to myself, like what I feel a home, because before I was like, I was
Sure.
traveling a lot, and I felt like Kyiv is not my home. I don't feel like home. I want to be in Berlin, for example. I studied there, and I was like, I want to move. And then I was like, I don't know where my home is. But right now, with all this situation, I understand that I feel so safe here right now. I don't
Wow.
want to leave. So we
Totally.
decided we stay, we will
Wow.
stay. And yeah, somehow when we decided that we will stay, somehow the panic and anxiety left. Because as we were,
Wow.
yeah, as we were thinking, and like I was Googling the tickets, I was Googling how trains are traveling right now.
Sure.
My mom was scared, she was crying, and I was like, I pretended that I was so strong. I did not
Mm.
cry. I was like, we decided we leave, but then we stopped. We thought again, and then they were like, yeah, we need to stay. It feels right somehow.
Sure.
It became so easy somehow. We felt better. We felt like, yes, this is our fortress, and it's protecting us, and we will
Sure.
protect it. But
Imagine
when
that you're trying to like answer a bunch of questions that you've never had to ask yourself before, like where is the safest place in
in
my
my house,
home to
yeah,
to rest? What are the legitimate dangers? Can I go out onto the street? Should I stay here? Should I try to leave? Should I try to go to a shelter? Should I try to escape the city? Those are all
yeah.
really, really awful things.
Yes, and it's not safe to come closer to the window, but when you hear something, you're naturally drawn. You want to know what's happening. That's why
Sure.
we covered the windows with transparent film that you cover your luggage in the airport. We do it sometimes to make it safe. So if the explosion happens, it doesn't, all blow these little pieces in the house.
Right.
At least it will like make it safer as it can. And in the house, yes, I'm staying at the in the corridor. Here's the door outside from my flat. This wall is like the safest wall. It won't fall down. Here I have the little bathroom and the toilet, and behind them there are windows of my kitchen. So
Right.
basically, if anything goes inside the kitchen, I am protected with with another little walls. So speaking of shelters, my basement in my house, it's moldy, it's dirty, it's full of water, it's not prepared. Good bomb shelters are metro stations, but I live far from them. I live like 20 minutes away with a car again, and it's not. We don't leave house. We don't go too far, only to the shops if we can. So going to the metro feels really like an awful idea, even though it's really safe inside the metro station.
Sure.
Other shelters that are like in the schools, they're either just basements that are not prepared for lots of people inside. There are no toilets, for example, and it
Right.
was just, I've read lots of articles, and I decided to make my home a shelter.